It's like, oh, yo, I gotta get to the weekend so I can get that J, so I can get that gas up in my system. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Brian Scott, aka the 9 to 5 actor, and here on my channel I talk about everything related to working a 9 to 5 job while being an entrepreneur in Los Angeles, chasing my dreams to become an A-list Oscar-winning actor one day. You feel me? On this journey, I share a lot about my mindset shifts. I'm gonna be doing skits. I got a podcast, and so if all this just sounds good to you, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, join me on this journey. And I'm always excited to hear about other people looking to move to LA or aspiring to be actors, or just the things that you're doing and working on, and would love for you to join my community. And so with that being said, man, let's get right into it. So today's video is about smoking weed and success, because I see a lot of videos out here nowadays on why people quit smoking weed and how much their life changed and how much they got so much clarity and just how everything has changed for themselves. But I also know it's a lot of people on the fence, just like me, who enjoy smoking weed but are wondering, can you still be successful with it? Because maybe you're having struggles, right, with smoking weed, and it is killing your motivation, it is killing your relationships and different things like that. And I just want to give y'all my thoughts on how I'm able to still smoke weed once a week and also be successful, okay? So what is my weed experience, all right? Now, I've smoked weed for about 19 years now. I've been on and off depending on what mental state I was in at that time. Like when I didn't have a job, I stopped smoking weed because I wanted to get a job. Anytime I was trying to stack my money up, because at that point in time it was like kind of expensive, I'd stopped then to be able to stack my money up. When I was moving to California, I stopped again because I just wanted to really be focused on just that. And so I've been on and off with it, but in totality about 19 years altogether, okay? Now, when I say 19 years, y'all, I'm talking about I was in the period of, and I'm from Washington, D.C., so I was in the period of smoking the Reggie, smoking the Mid, smoking the Loud, the Exotic, the ZA, or they got all these different names now. But living in Los Angeles, I understand now that y'all just been smoking quality weed this entire time. That didn't come to Washington, D.C. until probably like, what, 10 years ago now, I'm thinking about it? And so maybe a little bit longer, but still, it's been a journey, let me just say that. Now, with all my experience, weed has had the same impact on me as it probably has had on a lot of you, where you've become unmotivated. After you smoke, you just want to kick your feet up, play some video games, watch anime, you don't really want to do nothing. Your relationships have suffered because you like, man, I got the weed, what else do I need? You know what I mean? And so I've been there in all those places, and that's why I feel like I can share with you all what I have done for myself and the things I had to shift to be able to allow me to still smoke weed and also be productive, right? So one of the first things I realized to myself was my correlation to weed, right? And how this habit was working. So one of the first things I recognized when it came to weed that I was making a major mistake on was I was tying it to relaxation, okay? So I would be working my 9 to 5 job, and then as soon as I got off work, I'd be like, man, I just need to relax. I put out so much brain power, and then I'd smoke a J, okay? Because it was helping me relax and help bringing me down and all these other things, right? And I know it does have those euphoric effects, but in general, that was what I was tying it to. And so initially, I'd allow myself to smoke 7 days a week if I wanted, but I did feel like that was just a little too much in general. And so I dropped down to 3 days a week. But it didn't really change anything because the habit was still there. So now I'd be working my 9 to 5 job Monday through Thursday, and I'm even still putting in work with acting after. But as soon as Friday would hit, I'm back to just smoking weed Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and not doing too much. And that's when I was like free to hang out with people and do things. So I was starting to lose relationships and not wanting to spend time with people, and just realizing I wasn't as productive as I wanted to be. And so I had to then deep dive a little bit more. And I was like, hey, you know what? To keep yourself on point, let's drop it down to 2 days a week, and let's change the motive, right? So instead of using it to just relax, let's use it as a reward system. So now I wrote down priorities every single day that I had to complete. And then if I completed all 3 of my priorities every day, which was moving my life forward, I was allowed to smoke weed on the weekend as soon as it hit, because I deserved it. Y'all know what I mean? That was my reward. And so I recognized with that habit, I still was having the same impact, where now, instead of me not being as productive, I was just looking forward to Friday the entire time for the ability to be able to get high, which in hindsight wasn't helping me, right? Because it wasn't pushing my life forward, because all I'm thinking about now is like, oh, yo, I gotta get to the weekend so I can get that J, so I can get that gas up in my system. You know what I mean? And I recognized that there was still some addiction there that I couldn't figure out. And so from there, I ended up even dropping down further. And I was like, yo, you got to get down to like 1 day a week, because I still like smoking weed, but I also just might got to quit because I can't figure it out. And with all that being said, that's when my euphoric moment happened on what I recognized was wrong. So one of the biggest things I realized when it comes to smoking weed and trying to be successful is that it's definitely possible, but you can't correlate weed into a habit, okay? And what I mean by that is that if you want to smoke weed, you gotta just smoke weed because you just enjoy it for fun, okay? Now, I still recommend not doing it every single day, but you just gotta do it because it's something you just like to do and enjoy. The same way where a person will go out and grab drinks with their friends because you just want to party and get lit, all right? But you don't sometimes drink by yourself at home by yourself because you're just like, nah, that's a little weird. It's the same correlation with weed. You gotta be able to just smoke weed because you just enjoy weed, and it's no further than that. And when I changed up my mindset to that, I realized how my whole viewpoint on getting high shifted as well in my mind. So now I wasn't doing it for a reward when I was tackling all my tasks during the week. I just felt good about myself for being disciplined and being able to trust me. I wasn't doing it because I was stressed out from work or stressed out from acting or trying to make things happen for myself, because I had eliminated that point. I realized I could take care of myself when I was stressed. I can go walk and read a book. I can hit the gym, take care of me. And so that correlation dropped. And so one of the big things that I would share right now is to ask yourself, why do you smoke weed? Okay, what is the habit that you've tied into smoking weed? And I'd love for you to leave that in the comment section, because that right there, you'd learn how you mesh with a lot of other people who are doing that same exact thing. Because if you have a habit associated with it, oh, when I do art, I smoke weed. Oh, when I write music, I smoke weed. Oh, when I chill with girls, I smoke weed. And you start tying it like that, then it becomes very difficult to be able to navigate your life moving forward, because your brain has tied it into something that you have to do all the time. Now that I do it for fun, I allow myself to smoke every Friday, and sometimes I miss that Friday, and it doesn't matter, okay? And the discipline, now you might be wondering, why do you just do every Friday if that's the case? That's just a Brian thing that I like to do, and I also do feel like weed does have those other impacts just based on my previous experiences, and I wouldn't want to go back to doing it 7 days a week, because I think at that point it's like an addiction. And I don't like feeling like I'm addicted to anything, okay? Now, with all that being said, that was my own personal experience. I also want to share this side of things. If you right now are looking at your life and you're like, yo, what is holding me back from being able to progress forward? And your vice is weed, then I do think you should take a break from it. To be able to just really sit with yourself to figure out, do you honestly feel like you are enough without a substance to help you relax or help you do things and different things like that? Because I think it's really important for you to feel like you're enough without that extra boost. Do y'all know what I mean? And if you yourself can't trust you, or you yourself have zero discipline, then you're gonna be nothing in life. And I don't want anyone to end up like that. And so hopefully from this video, you all have understood that you can smoke weed and be successful, but you do have to be honest with yourself about the effects that it does have. And that if you find yourself overdoing it and you find that you do have an addiction to it, then just take a break. And if you can't take a break now, you know it's an even deeper issue that you just gotta personally work on. But I would not be too hard on yourself. I would not turn around and be like, I'm a failure, I'm nothing, and all these other things. But I would just make sure you call yourself out and make sure you do what you can do to pivot yourself away from that poison, okay? So with that all being said, I hope you all enjoyed this video, man. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, comment your thoughts below, you know, on if you plan on giving up weed, if you're gonna try to scale back the days, if you need to shift that habit, and I will see everybody at the top.